People are being discriminated based on their color, their education status, and even when it comes to sources of income. So open communities, are able to talk to those people and help them meet the challenges that they face when it comes to those types of discrimination with housing.
Some people are right on the cusp with their economic stability. And so just for a lot of our clients, I think open communities is the last stop before homelessness. And so the services we provide can help with the stability that they need to find secure housing.
We see it every day, coming in contact with people that are experiencing like a serious crisis and they think they're going to lose their home or they're not going to have anywhere for their kids to sleep at night. Being housing counselors, we have to be very aware of things that clients might bring up that trigger a discrimination case. And sometimes it might be that a client says, I was previously incarcerated and no one will take me, which isn't fair and isn't right, but they think that's normal.
You can feel something isn't right, or you can feel that you might be discriminated against, but you can't really name it, and you don't know what to do about it or how to change the situation. Talking about sort of the individual services, right? And looking, figuring out how we can tighten up the safety net for individuals. But, one of the most important things fair housing organizations do today, and what we've been involved in, is this idea of fair housing in a systemic context.
Chicago's like the third most segregated city in the United States. Government policy from the federal level down to the local level, in combination with private, bias and discrimination, just totally built the landscape. And it's like you can look at those maps and trace that back to red line maps. You can trace that back to like restrictive deed covenants and where highways were cut through communities. And that's something that bears really importantly on the work that we do in trying to sort of undo that deep kind of history of segregation.
Many of us that live here don't realize that laws are being broken all the time. They're being evicted because they're in the way. But they're not in the way. They're making the fabric of where we live so much richer.
I think we've seen progress in that people are way more aware of these issues than they were before. Like 10 years ago, the vast majority of Americans probably had no idea what redlining was, for instance.
We have improved, but there's a lot of work that still has to be done as well.
Landlords are also struggling too, and how do we bring, build relationships with those landlords and bring some resources so that they can keep their properties in good repair and keep them affordable. That's what keeps the community going in the direction of equity.
As someone that grew up in the South, going through different housing challenges as a youth, I wanted to alleviate some of those issues. There's a lot of opportunity for us to make a difference.
Now is the time for us to do more to provide affordable housing and find the answers. Having donations from individuals allows us to do the work that is most needed in the communities that we work in.